I'm Kat, founder of Movement for Modern Life, and I'm talking to one of my favourite teachers, Andrea Kwiatkowski.
Wow.
Did I get your name right?
You did. It was perfect.
Amazing. It's unusual. What I wanted to ask you about is the type of yoga that you teach. Why is it that you're teaching Jivamukti yoga, and when did you start practicing it yourself?
Jivamukti yoga I've been practicing for about 13 years. A friend of mine bought me the book, and Sharon Gannon, my teacher, is an ex-dancer and I was a dancer, so he thought that this would be a really great practice, and I loved it. Booked myself a ticket to New York, went to the centre and decided that I wanted to teach it. So the practice is just, there's nothing that's missing about it. It has a really strong asana practice linked to movement and sequencing. Obviously we have a musical soundtrack, so we've got some really cool tunes that come on the playlist. We've got meditation. We have this idea of kind of hands-on assisting, so your body is kind of being moved in different ways, which I absolutely love. And most importantly is the foundation of the method, which is that we're kind of taking yoga into every area of our life. So I've always been a strict vegetarian, and I was going to lots of yoga that weren't mentioning about vegetarianism. And Jivamukti does that. It's one of the key principles. It's a practice of devotion. So it's looking at our life and what we do with our life and really helping us see and make good choices. That's why I love it.
And what kind of people do you think it would suit?
I think it naturally suits people that may have come from a movement background. So, you know, if you like movement, if you like music, people always kind of call it like the wild child of yoga. But I think it's kind of lost that a little bit. It's just very uplifting. We get all kinds of people come into the class. I teach, you know, right the way through from teens up to 70s that come into the basics class, for example, and want to learn a handstand. So, you know, all different kinds of people, but it's people that want to be very uplifted by practice.
And tell me about Yin, my other favourite one of your practices.
Yin it's such a beautiful practice for slowing down, and that was one of the reasons that I wanted to study it. And I think it's really important when we teach in cities like I do. There's lots of people that are very connected into their headspace, and they need to come out of the headspace and kind of into the body and settle. Very good for meditation. If you want to learn to meditate, do Yin.
And what kind of people does a Yin practice suit?
Well, the people that should be practicing Yin often are not in the Yin class. So, you know, teachers that practice Yin and teach Yin, we're always encouraging our more active students, maybe students that, you know, have some more mental issues in the fact that they're always studying, they're always in their head. We know that they've got really super stressful lives. We want to see those people in doing Yin. Yin is getting to be really cool at the minute.
So I wonder if you could just tell me what tips you might offer for people who find it difficult to fit yoga and movement in their lives. How can you help them to move more? What tips would you offer?
Well, something that I say to my students a lot is that when we think about this word yoga, of what it actually means, it's a yoking together of, you know, your mind, your body, your breath, your life. So rather than thinking, oh, I've got to roll my mat out and do something, get up in the morning and stretch. You know, look at what animals do. When a cat or a dog gets up in the morning, they do some movements to stretch. So you could do something like that, and you need to do it every single day. You know, I always say pick 15 minutes in the time of your day that you can do something. Now maybe for you mentally, that kind of movement is going outside, having a walk, taking the dog out, you know, going on a bicycle. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's something that you mindfully do every day. You might decide that you want to do a meditation practice. So you could do a walking meditation. You know, when you go to the post office or when you go to the local shops, you make that the movement of the day. And you'll be amazed at how quickly that can become a habit. And you'll also be amazed at how quickly that becomes something that is affirming to you in your life. You know, you don't have to do all these really, really long kinds of practices to make a big difference. It needs to be small things that you can manage in your life. So I can give you tips of what I do, but you need to then think about, well, what can you do in your life that's manageable? Take all the stress out of it. Don't put yourself under pressure. And when you've got time, click on Movement for Modern Life and get an extra practice in. Go and see your local teacher and be inspired by people that are moving and doing these things.